name's Swever. I was just thinking, could I be like part of you guys' group or clique?
I think we'll pass. Thanks.
Well, Chris, I live close to you.
Hey guys, if you're wondering why you just watched that spot for Living with Trevor, it's because my friends Caleb and Gage or Cinema 7, along with the rest of their crew, made a movie titled Living with Trevor. I wanted to show all of them support by spreading the word regarding this film. If you're interested in watching Living with Trevor, I will leave a link to the full feature in the description down below, as well as Caleb's and Gage's channels. I'll even leave a link to the Letterboxd website where you can review Living with Trevor or just give the film a rating. And now, enjoy the video. What's up, everybody? This is 22 Tiger Dude here. And of course, I am joined by my wonderful guests, starting off with Mr.
Hey, what's up, you guys? FilmFan0599 here again. I'm back for top 5 anticipated of the insert season here video. And, you know, I've been on a lot, I think all of these since like 2015. I always have fun making these videos because, you know, I like doing them. It's fun. It's exciting to talk about most anticipated films of those certain seasons. And, yeah, we got some pretty good movies coming out for the fall-winter season, and I can't wait to talk about some of our most anticipated. I'm interested to hear all of your guys' lists.
Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and of course I'm very happy to be back on Tony's channel. Again, just like Film Fan said, I've been here since 2015. Always really enjoy doing these top 5s. You know, the fall, winter time, that really is like the best time for movies. There's just so many great films. You got the Oscar contenders, you got the big budget like action movies coming out, just a lot of really great stuff coming out hopefully this fall winter, guys. So definitely very excited to get into it. So let's just jump right in.
Hi! Okay, so.
Fuck, you're gonna wake my dad up.
All right, what's up, guys? It's the Auburn Wanderer here, aka Mr. Caden LaPlante. So yes, I am back here for another video on Mr. Tony's channel for the top 5 winter fall/winter season. As I started doing these every single time like 2 years ago in 2015, like Kevin said, I've had a lot of fun, so you know I gotta join back. And yeah, so I'm excited, especially for this time, which I'm pretty sure people know why, but you know what, it's okay, because we're gonna talk about some good movies, some Oscar movies, some blockbusters, and I can't wait for people to give me shit for saying that Star Wars is not in my honorable mentions or top 5. So let's go ahead.
Let's go.
Okay, so yes, as they've said, we are doing yet another top 5. It's now this time for fall, winter 2017. You know, just like with every year, the summer movie season has just flown by, and now we're getting to the fall, winter season, aka the Oscar season. So, of course, before we do get into our top 5, if you guys have been watching these videos for a while now, you know that we normally start off with the honorable mentions. And I do have a total of 5 honorable mentions. So in order, number 10, I'm going to say Coco. Number 9, The Disaster Artist. Number 8, Mother. Number 7, Thor Ragnarok. And number 6, Justice League. Film fan.
Oh, that's very interesting. There's a lot of movies that I thought were going to be on your actual list that were in your honorable mentions. So you surprised me, good sir. Here are my honorable mentions. Mother, American Assassin, American Made, Flatliners, Blade Runner, 2049, Geostorm for guilty pleasure reasons.
Hey, I'm looking forward to that for all the wrong reasons. Honestly.
I'm looking forward to that for all the wrong reasons. Murder on the Orient Express.
Good job.
Said
it right.
Yes, thank you. Justice League, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and The Greatest Showman. And my last honorable mention is Thor Ragnarok.
I have a shit ton of honorable mentions.
I am not surprised at all.
Don't you have like 40?
Something like that. In no particular order, guys. Mother, Brad Status, the Lego Ninjago movie, Stronger, Battle of the Sexes, Loving Vincent, Victoria Abdul, The Florida Project, Marshall, Breathe, Goodbye Christopher Robin, The Snowman, Only the Brave, Wonderstruck, Thank You for Your Service, The Killing of Sacred Deer, Novitiate, Professor Martin and the Wonder Woman, Jigsaw, Thor Ragnarok, Roman Israel-esque, Last Flag Flying, The Man Who Invented Christmas, LBJ, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, Wonder, The Current War, Darkest Hour, Call Me By Your Name, Molly's Game, The Shape of Water, Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle, Downsizing, and The Papers.
So apparently The Papers is now titled The Post. The title changed at the last minute for what I know. And I'm going to give a shout to Super Mario Fan 03 because he mentioned this on his fall movie preview on Facebook. So thank you very much, Super Mario Fan 03. If it weren't for me watching that, I would have known that. So if you guys want to check out his channel, I'll leave a link in the description down below. Very cool dude, very great channel.
And then my 10 through 6, because I always end up forgetting this. Number 10 is Justice League. Number 9 is Suburbicon. Number 8 is Phantom Thread. Number 7 is It. And number 6 is The Disaster Artist.
All right, so this is like one of the rare times I actually do have honorable mentions because this is Oscar season, y'all. And you know me, I like my pretentious art house films according to FilmFan. So,
well, would you shut it?
Let's get right into this, y'all. So I have a total of 10 honorable mentions, so it's kind of like top 15. So it goes from like 15 to 6, I guess. So okay, so number 15 is Richard Linklater's new movie Last Flag Flying. I'm really interested in seeing this. Number 14 is Molly's Game, which I believe is Steven. What's his name again?
Aaron Sorkin.
God damn it, Aaron Sorkin. I'm so fucking sorry. Aaron Sorkin. Why did I say sorry? Aaron Sorkin's first directorial feature. He writes this too, which is great. Number 13 is The Florida Project. Number 12 is The Disaster Artist. I don't think I have to go into detail why I'm excited for that. Number 11 is The Killing of a Sacred Deer. I'm really looking forward to that one. And then my 10 through 6. Number 10 is Goodbye Christopher Robin. Number 9 is Loving Vincent. Number 8 is The Papers. Number 7 is Novit. I don't know how to say that. And number 6 is Woodchuck.
All right, you guys, now it's that time where we get into our top 5. Kicking off my number 5 spot is indeed Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Now, obviously, I had a lot of fun with the first Kingsman. It's definitely what you want in just a blockbuster. You know, you just want to have fun. You want to be entertained. The action sequences are crazy as hell, especially that church scene. Holy crap. But yeah, the first Kingsman I had a ton of fun with, and it was cool to see Colin Firth doing an action film like this. And then, of course, this is where we get introduced to Taron Egerton. And, of course, the sequel looks like it could be twice as more fun, maybe even be twice as more crazier than the first film as far as, like, action and style goes. And Matthew Vaughn does return to direct this, and I believe write this too, so I'm very happy about that. And the cast looks really great, of course, especially with the new additions of with Channing Tatum, Halle Berry, Julianne Moore playing the antagonist, and then Jeff Bridges. It just looks like what I want, and just, your nice, fun popcorn action flick. I hope it could deliver just like the first film. Hopefully it's one of those sequels that does deliver. So that is my number 5, Kingsman: The Golden Circle.
So coming in at my number 5, this is going to be a bit of surprise for a lot of people, maybe a little bit of an unexpected number 5. And my number 5 is The Snowman. The Snowman, I think, looks like a very interesting crime thriller. When I first heard the title of the movie, I'm not gonna lie, it sounded stupid. I mean, it's called The Snowman. But when I saw the trailer, my perspective kind of changed on that a little bit, because it was definitely one of the most intense trailers I think I've seen in a long time, to be honest. Man, oh man, that trailer was intense. And I really do think this is a movie that's going to be looking like that. It's just going to keep you on the edge of your seat and wondering what's going to happen next. It looks like a really great, mystery crime thriller. I'm very excited to see where it goes. The cinematography looks beautiful with this movie. I love how the cinematography looks in the trailer. Michael Fassbender's in it, Rebecca Ferguson. I believe I saw J.K. Simmons in the trailer as well. So they got a pretty big cast for this. I cannot wait to see what they do with this movie. This looks like a very intense crime thriller, basically like just a crime horror thriller. I'm very excited to see where they go with it.
All right, guys. So my number 5 might actually surprise a lot of you, but my number 5, for a while, Disaster Artist and this movie, they kept flipping places. Like, I'm like, is this number 5 or is this number 5? But when it really came down to, guys, this is the movie I'm looking forward to more out of the two, that being Murder on the Orient Express. Now, I have not seen the original movie. I didn't know much about the source material, but if you guys know me, there are a few things that I love. I love crime dramas. I love detective sort of movies where, you know, they're like a bunch of suspects and we have to kind of like play detective as to who it actually is. And I love movies that are set in one location. And this movie has all of that. Right off the bat, the cast here is, I think, fantastic. The fact that Johnny Depp is actually the one killed, I think, is really interesting. You know, Josh Gad, Leslie Odom Jr., William Dafoe, Judi Dench, Michelle Pfeiffer, Daisy Ridley, just a phenomenal cast overall. And the mystery in general just sounds so compelling. And really throughout the trailer, what I love about the trailer is that they're really listening to all of these people. Any one of them could possibly be a suspect. Like, there's no one right now like, oh yeah, they could possibly be the one. The costume design's great. Kenneth Branagh, you know, say what you want about his acting, but damn does he know how to make a movie. I mean, his movies are usually phenomenal. You know, just it made in such a phenomenal way, and this definitely looks like it's going to be one of those films. I can't wait to see how this really does turn out. Like I said, there's just so many things that this movie really does have that I'm so looking forward to, and I really hope it does deliver in that regard.
So my number 5 is Blade Runner 2049. This is a film that I've been excited for an extremely long time because, you know, obviously the iconic, you know, first film Blade Runner, which I think is probably Ridley Scott's greatest film. You know, we got Harrison Ford coming back as Rick Deckard, I believe that's his name. And, you know, we're going to finally be able to explore the mysteries and, you know, the big, I guess you could say, like, twists of the first film, which I'm not going to spoil if people haven't seen the first film. But that's a mystery that I'm interested in seeing how they explore. We also have a new detective who is played by Ryan Gosling named Kay, and he finds Rick. And I'm very interested in seeing, you know, what the main storyline is with him. I also know there's some other, you know, talent in here. Denis Villeneuve is directing this one, who's one of the best directors working today. He made one of my favorite films of the decade, Prisoners, and also, you know, Arrival and Enemy. Also Scargo. And I am just really excited to see this film. You know, it looks beautifully shot, great visuals, great color and saturation, which, you know, Blade Runner really needs. It's really practical. I'm hoping for some, you know, great action set pieces in here, but I'm also hoping it's like the original Blade Runner, which is a lot of talking and a lot of questions, a very complex story, which is something that I want something that challenge audiences like the first Blade Runner did. And I'm very interested in seeing how this film turns out, and I cannot wait for Blade Runner 2049, and that's why it's my number 5.
And my number 4 is the movie that Auburn just mentioned, Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I haven't seen the first Blade Runner, and I'll definitely watch it before 2049 comes out for sure, because I really do want to see Blade Runner. But I'm definitely looking forward, really looking forward to Blade Runner 2049 because of the cast and obviously the director, Denis Villeneuve, who directed Arrival, which I loved, and Prisoners, which I love. Not a fan of Enemy or Sicario, though, but I am a fan of Prisoners and Arrival, and I am really looking forward to what he could bring to Blade Runner 2049. Like what Auburn just said, you know, hopefully it's a movie that challenges its audience, has great action set pieces, but it makes you think at the very same time. And hearing that's going to be practical is really cool. And I look forward to seeing where they can further the storyline and seeing how Ryan Gosling can handle being in a world like this. I know Jared Leto is also in this film too, which I'm very interested to see. Oh, yeah. And cinematography, like this looks like one of the most beautifully shot movies of 2017, because the cinematography from what I see in the trailers, holy crap, it looks breathtaking. Definitely anticipate to see this film. It was in my top 10 most anticipated movies of this year, and it really has not changed. It's still the same way. I'm still very excited for this film as I was in the beginning of this year. So that is my number 4.
So my number 4 is Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Now, I'm a really big fan of the first Kingsman. I thought that was a really great movie. Loved it a lot. Had tons of fun with it. Had some great action, great characters, some great humor to it. But I think this sequel honestly looks more insane, to be honest, because everything I've seen from the teaser trailer and the Comic-Con trailer, it just looks really, really insane, just really insane. And the humor looks great. Like, I really laughed a lot during both of the trailers. And the new additions like Channing Tatum, the guy who played Oberyn in Game of Thrones is in it. Jeff Bridges, Julianne Moore, Halle Berry. So I'm very interested to see. Also, Elton John's in it. So it's very interested to see how all these new characters are going to come together. And plus, the Kingsman building is destroyed in the trailer. So I'm very interested to see where the sequel could go, and hopefully it's just as fun, if not even more fun than the original. So can't wait to see Kingsman: The Golden Circle, and that is my number 4.
Believe it or not, guys, once again, I don't know if this is going to happen again, but my number 4 is the same as Double Nine's number 4, and that, of course, is Kingsman: The Golden Circle. Kingsman: The Secret Service, I mean, I can't praise that movie enough. Just one of the best, most creative action movies I think we've seen this decade. I mean, everyone thinks, oh, you've done all you can in an action movie. Watch Kingsman. Definitely not the case. I mean, that movie just got everything right. Such cool gadgets, such fun characters. I mean, Sam Jackson's character in that movie was awesome. It had great comedy. It had amazing action. I mean, the church scene in general, just holy shit. And honestly, this movie looks even better. Like, it really looks like they're doing all they can to top it. And I really could see that happening. I mean, you got a phenomenal cast here. Julianne Moore as the villain. Oh yeah, sign me up for that. Channing Tatum is in this. Pedro Pascal, Elton John, Jeff Bridges. I mean, it really just doesn't get better than this. And what I'm really hoping is that they really do expand on this world here, because we do know how Kingsman is. Obviously, we're not really familiar with the world of the Statesman, and I think they're going to incorporate those two worlds very well, you know, those two organizations very well here. I'm definitely interested in seeing how they really pull that off. The action here looks fantastic. Pedro Pascal's character in general, I'm so excited for. The whole thing with him and the lasso, and the first trailer absolutely sold me, you know, with that blowing up the school and whatnot. I have been anticipating the sequel pretty much ever since the first movie happened. I'm like, we need a sequel, and now here we are. I'm so excited to see it. Every time I see the trailer in theaters, I'm so excited to watch it.
So my number 4 is the new Darren Aronofsky film, which is Mother. This film has Jennifer Lawrence in it. I mean, the main reason I'm excited for this one is just because, you know, Darren Aronofsky directing this. I mean, you know, Black Swan, Requiem for a Dream. And this film looks, you know, terrifying. It looks very, I guess you could say, like, suspenseful and thrilling. I don't really know much about this film, which I'm really happy I don't. I really want to go into this blind as possible. The marketing for this film has been fantastic. I love the new little nuances to Rosemary's Baby, the marketing, you know, also some, you know, classic, you know, horror and thrillers. And I'm just really interested in seeing this film. From what I know about the plot, it sounds really interesting. And I'm just very interested in seeing how this film turns out. I'm hoping it's not a disappointment just because of the director's, you know, catalog, which is fantastic. That's all I really have to say about Mother. Really looking forward to it. That's why it's my number 4.
My number 3 is a film that I didn't think I would actually be, like, excited for. I had my curiosity, but I didn't think I would be, like, this excited for. But after seeing the marketing lately for this film, my number 3 is It. Wow, it's really rare when I have a horror film like this high on my list, because I'm not really a big horror guy. Like, for me to really look forward to a horror film like It is, like, really saying something, because wow, I have been loving each trailer. It's like with every trailer I watch, they get better and better. I think the official second trailer, wow, that really got under my skin. I think that's what a horror film should do. It should get under your skin. It should really just creep you out with its imagery. I know there's going to be jump scares in there too, and they look very well executed from the trailers too, because jump scares can get annoying, but like if it's executed in the right way, kind of like with Annabelle Creation, for example, then it's not too bothersome. So I do look forward to seeing where they'll take the jump scares. Pennywise, you hear like one dialogue, like you hear him speak a couple of words. I was like, ooh. goodness gracious. And the acting looks really great, and I know this takes place in the 1980s, and it definitely looks like you're in that time period. I'm just very intrigued on where they're going to take the storyline. I'm really excited to see how terrifying and how far they can really go, especially with its R rating. Definitely, hands down, one of my most anticipated movies for the rest of the year. I cannot freaking wait for this movie. That's my number 3. It.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not.
I did not.
Oh, hi, Mark. My number 3 is The Disaster Artist. Just the fact that this is going to be a movie based on the book The Disaster Artist, obviously, that tells the story of the behind-the-scenes making of The Room, it's the greatest worst movie ever made. If you've never seen The Room, please see it. It's like it's hilariously awful. That's the best way to put it. And
yes.
I cannot wait to see how this movie is going to tell the behind-the-scenes story of it. Just from that little teaser trailer alone, where we see the behind-the-scenes, the whole "Oh Hi Mark" scene and whatever. It looks hilarious. I think James Franco is going to do an absolutely fantastic job as Tommy Wiseau. I can't wait to see this movie. I think it's going to be insanely hilarious because just seeing the tale of the behind the scenes of the Room just looks really funny, and I can't wait to see it. Honestly, it looks really funny and really intriguing. Honestly, just to see the behind the scenes of a movie that has a reputation for being so bad that it's hilarious. So yeah, my number 3 is The Disaster Artist.
I don't know why this happens every year, but it seems like every single year I have a Star Wars movie at number 3, and that's no different this year. Now, my number 3 is absolutely Star Wars: The Last Jedi. The Force Awakens, I think, is as good as a revival type movie can really be. I mean, they just had all the ingredients in there. You had Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, just all that stuff was great. And then you had these new characters as well. You had, of course, Rey, you had Finn. They were all so interesting. The action scenes were great. Yes, there were things that were similar to A New Hope, but there were a lot of things that were new and fresh. And I just really loved what we got in The Force Awakens. And this movie, just like Kingsman, seems like they're really taking it to a whole other level. I mean, just the shot. I know they have not shown the teaser nearly as much as they did with The Force Awakens, but I mean, just the shot at the end of the trailer where Luke says to Rey, "It's time for the Jedi to end." I mean, that just pulls me in. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that's really all about, but that is enough to really sell me on this trailer. It seems like they're keeping it very, very secret, which makes me think a lot of shit is really going to go down, which a lot of people are thinking this is going to be like the Empire Strikes Back of the new trilogy, which I could very well see happening, and I wouldn't be surprised if they are going that direction, but we'll have to see the way this really does turn out. Daisy Ridley, I think, has really made me, first of all, I mean, help, she's going to be in Murder in the Orient Express, and, before she was kind of a nobody, and now she's doing all these other movies, and I can't wait to see where they really do take this series. Star Wars Last Jedi, oh, hell yeah, absolutely pumped. Can't wait to see the way they take this series, because so far, I mean, it is absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to see where they're going here.
So my number 3 is Phantom Thread, which this is the new Paul Thomas Anderson film, and this is going to be Daniel Day-Lewis's final performance as an actor. He is retiring, and that's I guess is just like the main reason why I'm really looking forward to this film, but also because it is Paul Thomas Anderson, who is one of the best directors working today. Fantastic catalog from Boogie Nights, Punch Drunk Love, Magnolia, his recent film Inherent Vice, and The Master, blah blah blah. And I am just really looking forward to this film. I know it's about like fashion and stuff, which is something I'm into, I guess. And I'm really interested in seeing how this film turns out. I feel like this film is going to be very special if this is what Daniel Day-Lewis is going to go out as. And the fact that he's reteaming with Paul Thomas Anderson for this, I think that there's a lot of potential here, and hopefully that is lived up to, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be. But I'm really interested in seeing this film, and I hope this is a good last hurrah for Daniel Day-Lewis. And yeah, that's why Phantom Thread is my number 3.
My number 2 is The Greatest Showman. Of course, I had to have this film in my list because I am huge with musicals, and watching the trailer was just brought me so much joy. It's like one of the most joyful trailers I've seen in recent memory. Like, if you want to talk about a trailer that just puts nothing but a smile on your face, this is one of those trailers. It completely blew me away. I love the cast, from Hugh Jackman to Zac Efron, which I'm glad to see him do something, because he's been doing like nothing but comedies lately. So it's nice to see him take a break from that and do something like this, especially since, you know, he started out doing a musical franchise, the High School Musical film. So that's really cool for me, honestly, to see him do yet another musical film. And of course, you have Michelle Williams in here. You got Rebecca Ferguson here. And yeah, you've got Zendaya, who came from just recently her Spider-Man Homecoming fame. The production design of the film looks really great. The overall direction just looks so wonderful. And I really do hope it's one of those movies that brings me joy. And what better way to release it than on Christmas Day? I really can't wait to see The Greatest Showman. I am pumped out of my mind, and that's why it's my number 2.
So coming in at my number 2, usually I get excited for horror films, but I think I've never been excited for a horror film like this in, honestly, forever. And my number 2 is It. Kind of like what Tony said, from everything from like the trailers to the marketing. The marketing's been fantastic for this movie, I think. It's been really great. The trailers were really great, honestly. They're really, really, really scary. Like, they got under my skin, which I love it when horror films do that, because, you know, that's what a horror film's supposed to do. It's supposed to get under your skin. And it does, and those trailers really did a great job with that. I think Pennywise is going to be a really great villain in this. And also I like, and plus Mr. Auburn Wanderer here, Caden LaPlante, has helped me a lot with information on this. That's going to be really focusing a lot on the kids, the Losers Club as they're called in it. And I actually like that it's really focusing on that instead of just, you know, focusing on, oh, it's Pennywise, you know, the scary clown and whatever. I like it more that they're doing it with that, and I'm very interested to see where they're going into that direction with it. And also that I've heard that this is like it's supposed to be a 2-parter, like part 2 supposed to be about the adults, them as the adults and stuff. So I'm very interested to see where they're gonna take that with part 1 with them as kids. So yeah, the movie looks really intriguing, looks really scary, and I can't wait to see. I think it looks very, very intense. So yeah, my number 2 is It.
All right, so my number 2, once again, this is one that I think pretty much all of us have already discussed, and that for me is easily Blade Runner 2049. Let me just say right off the bat, the first Blade Runner I did in fact enjoy, but I didn't really understand it. And it wasn't because, you know, it is a kind of a complex movie, as Auburn did say before. It was mainly because I don't think I was the right age. I didn't really understand like complex movies and things like that back then. Now if I watched it, I think I'd like it a lot more. This just looks so well made. I mean, you got such a great cast here. I'm so happy they got Harrison Ford back. He seems so passionate about this. Ryan Gosling, I mean, seems like the perfect leading man to go up against him, as well as Jared Leto looks like a fantastic villain. The visuals here look absolutely incredible. This might have the best cinematography of the year, easily. It honestly might. I mean, it looks so great, and it looks like one of those movies that's going to suck you in with its visuals and really get you into this world. The story, again, I can't really say too much about it because I don't really understand it all that much. You know, once I watch the first one, I think I'll understand a little bit better. But Jared Leto looks like a great villain. He looks like he's going to be very menacing, and just Jared Leto absolutely kills it. Even as the Joker, I know a lot of people weren't a huge fan of that, but I thought he honestly was great as the Joker. He, you know, the limited amount of screen time he had, I think he still gave a really good performance there. I mean, there's a reason why he's coming back. So this definitely looks like a really great movie. And Denis Villeneuve. I mean, how can we forget Denis Villeneuve? One of the best directors working today. Just everything he puts out is an instant hit. Whether it's Arrival, whether it's Sicario, the man really can do anything. That's what I love about Denis Villeneuve. He has such a large variety of films. None of his films are like, they're all very different that way, and I really hope it does deliver because I'm absolutely hyped for this, and I can't wait to see how it does turn out.
All right, so my number 2 is The Shape of the Water, which is the new Guillermo del Toro film. I am a huge fan of Guillermo del Toro. I think he is a fantastic director. And he's one of the best directors at making these huge, obscure, fantasy type films that are just really creative and out there and just kind of weird. And this film kind of looks like it. I saw the trailer for it in front of Wolf of Planet of the Apes, and while I didn't think the trailer looked that great, it was just the story and the characters that really intrigued me about this, and the fact that Guillermo del Toro was doing this film. I didn't even hear about this movie until I saw that trailer, and just this concept, and just it sounds so interesting to me, and it looks so different, just so creative, and so just out there. And it is like a love story, like trapped in this setting that it just isn't meant to be. And I'm just really interested in seeing this film. I'm excited to see this film, and it is one of my anticipated films of the entire year. And that's why it's my number 2, which is The Shape of the Water.
Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Yeah, I'm just gonna say it. I'm not gonna build up any, the anticipation. It's Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I'm just saying it up front. To be frank, yes, this is my most anticipated movie for the rest of the year. I did like Star Wars: The Force Awakens, and they did a lot of interesting things with that movie, and I can't wait for them to expand upon of where The Force Awakens left off into The Last Jedi. We actually got to see Luke Skywalker. It's going to be cool to actually see Luke Skywalker. I am definitely very interested to see to where they take the storyline with Rey, with Finn, with all these other characters, Leia too. There's just so much they can do with this world, honestly. Like, they can really do anything with a world like this, a world that's so grand, that it's just so iconic. And I just look forward to seeing where they could go with The Last Jedi, and then all the answers that could be possibly answered that we got from The Force Awakens, that The Force Awakens asked us. So, and Rian Johnson, who directed Looper, a sci-fi film I really loved. Can't wait to see Rian Johnson direct The Last Jedi. It's predictable, I'm aware of that, but it is my number 1. So hell yeah, Last Jedi.
All right, if anybody knows me, everyone knows what my number 1 is going to be. It's going to be Star Wars: The Last Jedi. I loved Force Awakens. I thought that was an absolutely incredible movie. I thought that was the return to form that Star Wars needed. And I love, my light Star Wars, but I love my dark Star Wars even more. I do think this is where The Last Jedi is going to take. It's going to take a much darker approach at in this new trilogy of sorts, and I can't wait to see it. And I love the new range of characters, from like Rey to Finn to Kylo Ren to Poe Dameron. So I'm very excited to see those characters again, along with Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, and stuff like that. But I'm very interested to see where they're going to take the story with Rey and Luke more specifically. It's going to be very interesting to see them Luke training her and stuff like that. That's going to be very interesting to me. It's probably the thing I'm interested in the most in it. And I just can't wait to see where this movie is going to go. Like, I barely know nothing about this movie. I mean, even the teaser really didn't give me that much of what the movie is technically about, per se. So I am interested to see where this film could go. And, I'm a Star Wars freak. So obviously, I'm out of my moon, out of this world excited for this movie. And it's not only my most anticipated movie of the fall-winter season, but it's just my most anticipated movie of the year in general. So, yeah, Star Wars: The Last Jedi, my most anticipated.
All right. Just like Tony and just like Double Nine, this is extremely predictable. I think you guys had an idea of what my number 1 is, but I'm just going to say right now, it's The Greatest Showman. I mean, are you guys really surprised? You know how much I love musicals. La La Land was the most anticipated for last year, and Greatest Showman this year.
I thought for sure Boo 2 was going to be your number 1.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. But it's just to reiterate what Tony said. A part of me just died inside, by the way, Tony, that now that you said that. A part of me just, my soul's kind of gone. My love for this movie is kind of, I want to talk about it, but it's just, shut the fuck up. You got me all confused. All right, The Greatest Showman, like I said. In general, I'm very excited to see this movie for a couple of reasons. One, I don't know much about this man. I know a lot of people have said, oh, they're not portraying it right. Like, he's done all these terrible things. And again, I don't know much about his, given his history. I don't know too much. about P.T. Barnum, like, as a person, but I know, of course, he was the founder of the circus, and he's done all these great things, like the Ringling Brothers and things like that. So I think that whole story is definitely really great. Just like Tony said, it's really cool to see Zac Efron in something that's not a, hard R, raunchy comedy, because that's kind of all he's been doing lately. It's cool to see him in something else. Not that he's bad in those. It's really cool to see him do something different. Michelle Williams, Rebecca Ferguson, Zendaya's in here. Just a really great cast. And then you got some Broadway vets too, like Keala Seattle. I've always loved her since Hands on a Hard Body. I mean, she's just such a great theatrical actress. She just has such great presence. And also Les Mis vet Will Swenson's in there. So really good cast overall. The directing, looks incredible. And then the music. Again, when I first heard the song in the trailer, I'm like, oh, this just sounds like a pop song. But it actually is an original song in the movie by Keala Seattle. And not only that, but the score is being done by Paysack and Paul. If you don't know who Paysack and Paul is, they basically are responsible for all the big musical hits that have been coming out recently. I'm talking La La Land, Dear Evan Hansen. These guys are the titans when it comes to songwriting duos, and I think they're absolutely going to continue that amazing streak for this movie. They know how to write amazing toe-tapping songs, but they also know how to write really great ballads as well. So I really do trust these guys. Just really excited to see this movie, and it absolutely, for all those reasons, is definitely my number one.
This really shouldn't come as a surprise. I have said for a few years now, I have wanted this movie to happen so bad. This is my most anticipated movie of all time. So obviously it's my number one. I can't believe this is finally coming out, and that is Boo Medea Halloween 2. Finally. Oh my God, I have been waiting so long for a Medea movie, the sequel to the best movie. Okay, joke. All right, so my number one is It. It's my most anticipated movie of all time. Got Kevin left. Part one of it. I remember when I was like 5 or 6 years old, my older brother, we were just hanging out, and he popped in this VHS tape of this thing called It, and it had a clown on it, and I was like, what is this? And then we went to the Georgie scene, and I remember being absolutely terrified. I was so terrified of it, and ever since that moment, I have always been just so interested in the story and stuff. And then finally, when I grew older a few years later, I ended up reading the book because one of my best friends gave it to me, and I remember just being absolutely blown away by it. I connected so much to the Losers Club and all the characters and stuff. And I finally watched the miniseries, which I really enjoy, just because it's like kind of guilty pleasure being. I think it's because I love the story so much. Definitely, it's not great, but part one's really good, but part two is awful. I still remember the day where the first trailer came out, and I remember that just being one of the most emotional days of my life, because the story means so much to me. It's my favorite novel of all time. I love the Losers Club so much. Like I said, I just connect with them so much, and seeing it portrayed in the way that it has always been meant to be portrayed, having more accurate representation of Pennywise, who Bill Skarsgård looks absolutely fantastic as. He looks creepy, but he also has like the innocence that drives kids in. He's like a Swedish clown, which I really like. I love his accent. And all the kids like Losers Club, Bill, Eddie, Bev, Mike, if I can go on and stuff. But I mean, I love all these characters, and seeing them portrayed this way, and all the child actors looked fantastic in this film. It really makes me happy that a lot of people are looking forward to this film, because, I mean, not to call people out, but a lot of people, were calling me weird for this movie, my most anticipated movie of all time, before the first trailer came out, before it was in pre-production. And, it's good to see everyone's looking forward to it now. And I'm, hearing the report that this movie is going to make over $50 million opening weekend, I was so happy, and I'm so excited to cherish the moment when I first see this film in a dark auditorium with tons of people. Everything about the atmosphere, the character design of Pennywise, just the acting, just everything about this film looks fantastic. I'm really hoping it's very truthful to the book, which means I really want a graphic and gory film. I'm just hoping that everything that I want from this film happens. So yeah, that is why it is my most anticipated movie of all time, number one for fall winter season and of the year. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I've said enough about this already. So yeah, can't wait.
So you guys, another video has gone by. That concludes our top 5 anticipated movies for fall winter 2017. Comment down below and let me know what is your top 5 anticipated movies for fall winter 2017. I'm really curious to know. And of course, I would love to thank my guests one by one. I'm starting off with FilmFan. Where can these people find you, good sir?
You can find me on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, FilmFan0599. Twitter, same thing, and Instagram, same thing. So yeah, thank you, Tony, for having me on here, and this was a lot of fun to do.
You guys can find me at Kevin Falk. I make very long videos that none of these fuckers here watch because of that reason.
I watched some of them.
I actually do have a plug. We're going to plug these amazing napkins here that my dad bought us. Swamp Day. Who would you switch with and why? Definitely.
Gorgeous, Kevin. Love it.
Because the first thing you want to see when you wipe your face is this beautiful dog's face. In all seriousness, guys, thank you for having me here. I always love doing these videos, and looking forward to seeing how the rest of this year really does turn out. So once again, thank you, Tony.
Yeah. I'm really excited to see Boo Medea Halloween 2. I can't wait for that film.
Don't make me leave again.
Thank you for Tony for having me on again. And I really have fun doing this, especially, for this year, especially, it's fine because it comes out. So
Tony, where can they find you? Oh, wait.
And you can find me here at my 22 Tired Dude channel. Yeah. I will actually go ahead and plug. Yes, if you don't follow me, I am on Universe of the Blue Tubers. If you want to follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at TigerDude222. So there you go. There's my plug.
I'm also on Universe of the YouTubers too, and I do album reviews that no one watches.
Okay, guys. So this is 22 Tired Dude here with Film Fan Kevin and Auburn Wanderer. And don't forget that all of us will always have
Swamp Day!
Shut up!
Tiger Power.